Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki. Welcome to everybody. Can somebody read?
Small pools of water accumulate during rainy season, and in the autumn they gradually dry up. The little creatures playing in those small pools do not understand that their days are now numbered and will end very soon. Thus they are foolish men who not caring for the nearing day of their death, become absorbed in the so-called enjoyment of family life. Foolish politicians are too attached to family life. A big politician means a big family man. An ordinary family man is attached to his limited family of wife and children. But big politicians extend the same family feeling to a wider circle and thus become encumbered by false prestige, honor, and self-image. The politician never retires from politics, even if he has many covetable posts, like those of ministers or president. The older he is, the more he is attached to the false prestige. Even at the fag end of his life, he thinks that everything will be spoiled without him. He is so foolish that he does not see that many other politicians who thought like him have come and gone with no gain or loss for want of them. These family men, big and small, are like the small fish in the pools of water that gradually dry up in the atom. They are foolish because they think that their attachment to their family, even at the end of their lives, will be able to protect them from the cruel hands of death. As already mentioned, the human life must be divided into four component parts: the student life, the householder life, the preparative life, and the life of dedication to the service of the Lord. One must retire from all sorts of family life, big or small, at the age of 50, and thus prepare for the next life. This is the process of human culture. The householders are allowed a pension from service so that they can live for a higher cultural life. But foolish men, reluctant even to accept this pension, want to artificially increase the duration of their life. Such foolish men should take lessons from the drying pools of water and should know in their own interest that life is eternal, continuing even after death. Only the body changes, whether spiritually or materially. And intelligent men should be careful to know what sort of body is going to be awarded him, and thus he must prepare for a better life in other planets, even if he is reluctant to go back to God.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. As usual, it's a very interesting analogy drawn up here in the light of the Bhagavata and explained wonderfully by Prabhupada. You see, a drying pond, especially in the summer, you'll see very fast drying up. I'm here in Guruvayur and the temperature is like hitting 40 degrees, 42 degrees. Very hot in the afternoon and also very humid. So all water bodies have shrunk. The big public canal flowing is very small stream. And you'll see in big ponds and, tanks and everything. As the water dries up, along the sides, all the creatures living in the water, they move inside fast, or they die in the hot sun, got stuck in the sand, in the mud. They just die. They never thought they will die, the way it looks like, because when you see them playing in that small pond, they're very, completely oblivious. They're enjoying, still without knowing that the pond is fast shrinking. Similarly, Ayur Hariti Vaipumsan Udyan Astan Chayan Aho Tasyarte Yachano Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya. Very beautiful shloka from the Bhagavatam. It states that Ayur Hariti Vaipumsan. Ayu means your span of life. Hariti means is gradually being eaten away with every sunrise and every sunset. And if we are conscious about it, Uttama Shloka Vartaya, you will spend your time again and again speaking about the Supreme Lord, thinking about the Lord, thinking about service to Him. And in this way, you would have made the best use of time. But if you did not, that time will gradually creep up and come close to you and swallow you and eat you in the form of death. So the material world is very absorbing. It keeps you very busy, very, very busy. So many small, minor things to do that you attract yourself to do. And you say, I know about that. Just wait, I'm coming. But that coming never happens because there are so many attractive small things to do. Your family members, your children, your relatives, your small newspaper clippings that you read every day, or the social media thing and the Facebook and the calls that you get and the small things you need to say around the street corner and to this person and that. You may say that all these are the nice small things in life and all that. But a lot of these small things are being done by you by telling the big things to wait. You have knowledge about the big things, but you somehow tell, yeah, I'm coming. It never happens. It never happens because you're kept busy like this. Then one fine day, boom, you're taken away. You've been fooled all the time. So this analogy states that don't get too absorbed in the small things in this world, which look very interesting and attractive, and it becomes a habit, and you just keep doing it, and you don't focus on the big things in life. This is illusion. Expending the big things for the sake of the small things. Expending the big things for the small things is the biggest mistake you will make. But rather, if you focus on remembering Krishna, reading about Krishna, talking about Krishna, serving Krishna, they may also look small things to you. And some people may think, what is the use of that? I mean, what's a great thing about that? Because you don't get instant gratification, don't get instant profit, instant benefit from it. So therefore, you think that if I spend some time with so-and-so, he'll give me a contract, he will help me later. And, I like to do that. I have a nice exchange with them. I enjoy it. And life goes like that, absorbed in many small enjoyments. But actually what's happening is Maya is quietly spending your time away from the real purpose of life. So it's mentioned that one should be very vigilant. If you're not vigilant, Prabhupada quoted Chanakya Pandit as saying that Shwarna Kotibi, he said that, time is like gold. You lose one moment, it'll never come back to you. Never come back to you. Even if you're willing to pay crores, give in gold, that one moment that is gone will never come back to you. So we should watch very carefully how we are spending our time. How Maya is putting us into illusion, drawing us and attracting us away from the main goal of life. We should attend very focusedly on the main things in life. I've heard so many people saying that I spent my time doing this wrongly, I shouldn't have done that. But I've never heard anybody saying at the end of his life that I've spent my time wasting chanting Hare Krishna, serving Krishna, worshipping his deity. Nothing. I've never heard anybody say that. Because Krishna appears to them. And increasing realizations they have. The more they chant, the more they hear about Krishna, the more they serve Krishna, the more Krishna comes into their lives. And more their lives become purposeful, meaningful. So at the end of life, it all accumulates and they never will say anything like that. But they are able to absorb themselves very nicely because of their past absorption in Krishna consciousness. Krishna gives them the facility to absorb themselves when they are passing away. You go back to the spiritual world. There is no doubt about that. All that they did, which the world may think, what did you do here? You were talking about serving Krishna. You banged the mridanga and the so-called instruments and you chanted loudly the same mantra again and again. And you say it feels great or something, and you started doing certain type of monochromatic same activity every day, morning to evening, and you called it sadhana. And obviously it was not good for you. I could see that you're not tasting it and enjoying it. I was enjoying variety of things every day. I was doing the things that I like. And I felt sad for you that you stuck yourself up inside this whole, people look at devotional service and practices in different ways. Some of them feel sad for us that you're doing this. My gosh, how bad. Don't you feel this? Don't you feel that? I said, no, I don't feel. Because I know what I'm doing, why I'm doing. I read it in the books. I look at it in my life. I review my life every day. I see what I'm doing, why I'm doing, how it's contributing to me, how it's useful to Krishna, how it's useful to Bhakti Vinodha Swami Prabhupada, the mission, and to people who we come across. And I feel very great that I'm a, fortune giver. I give people good fortune. If you look at it the other way, you get a completely different interpretation. And this is the way to spend time. But the world thinks that the best way to spend time is to have sense gratification at every moment. But a devotee thinks to be in Krishna consciousness every moment. Completely serving Krishna every moment. These are widely different. They are diametrically different. So that side, it is mentioned that in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is saying that people will look at it like night and day. They'll think, what are you doing here? And you will be thinking, what are you doing, by the way? For each of us, it's like night and day. But it's time spent. In the meantime, time is going. Time is going. So this shloka is warning us, and it's talking about attachment to certain things. Prabhupada is giving the example of politicians. How they spend all their time thinking that they are doing good to the world and to other people and sacrificing for the sake of the party. Now elections are coming and people are spending all their energy and time. They are all working 20 hours a day and telling, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me, going around everywhere and working. And said, this is it. Working very hard, spending tons of money. And I just heard some statistics about the amount of money spent in elections. Very huge. In India, they're spending 15 billion for the sake of 968 million people to go to vote in every nook and corner of this country. And it seems every MP or Lok Sabha fellow who's all standing for elections, he personally spends money, big amount, right, from 55 lakhs or something per person. And the party also spends on him. That's very huge. They gave us statistics of BJP spent in the last election something, because they won some nearly so many hundreds of seats. They spent nearly 50 crores per seat. Can you imagine how much amount of money that is spent? Huge amount of money. Huge amount of time. Huge amount of effort for electing a person, making him stand for a few years. Amazing effort and time and energy goes into many things in this world. But if we spend the same amount of time and energy in Krishna consciousness for this world and its people, the world will be such a happy place to live in. You don't have, the politicians need have to be worried about and be attached and think that nobody else will do this job, I should do the job till I die. You'll never think like that. You'll think like Yudhishthira Maharaj thinks. Time has come, I've already trained the people and I've put Krishna in the center of everybody's life as a ruler. Let them do it. Let them focus on Krishna. He put, Parikshit as the king in Hastinapura. He put Vajranabha in Mathura. And he said, you manage. And he left. He didn't even speak to his wife. He didn't speak to his brothers. He renounced and went to the forest, Vanaprasthi. That's it. I'm retiring. I've done my job. I've done what I can. Now I have to look after myself completely. Total focus. I focus only on Krishna consciousness and my elevation and going back to Godhead. So life should be planned. It should be executed properly. And we should make sure that we do the best things with our time. Prabhupada has given human society an amazing gift. You can spend all your time in Krishna consciousness wherever you are. You may not be in the temple, you may be at home. You can read, you can chant, you can write, you can speak to others, you can preach. I think 24 hours is not enough. The amount of things that you can do in devotional service. The amount of opportunities Prabhupada has given to the people. We can all become very absorbed in that. And in this way, free ourselves from the illusion of being some small insects roaming around in a small pond and thinking that we are having great fun. You're not. Actually, you're not. You're in big illusion. You can have very huge fun if you become Krishna conscious. And we should focus on the big things in life rather than getting diverted by the smaller things. Okay? Om Tat Sat. Any question or comment? Nice, interesting shloka. Any question or comment?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, one question I have. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Why does Maya does all these things to us?
Maya does? Why does?
Why does Maya create this illusion to us?
Because we need it. We asked for it. You think material life is possible without being an illusion? The point of material life is you have to be an illusion in order to be so-called experiencing it. The design is like that. So unless you're put into illusion, you'll not be able to enjoy material life.
Yeah, that's the point.
So,
like, if I don't enjoy material world, then I will move towards Krishna.
Pardon? I can't hear you well. Are others hearing him well?
Hear me now better?
Yes, better.
Yeah. So, the point is, we are not inclined towards more Krishna consciousness because illusion is stopping us, right? So,
Yeah.
if illusion reduces, then we move more and more towards Krishna consciousness, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
human life purpose is to move towards Krishna consciousness. So why do we have this illusion?
The point is that along with illusion, you also have the prescription of becoming Krishna conscious. It's not only illusion. Side by side with illusion is also the fact that you can chant Hare Krishna, you can associate with devotees, you can worship Krishna, you can read Bhagavad Gita. All these are also there. If you are able to do that also simultaneously, then you'll see slowly the illusion will go. Problem is you're not doing that, you're doing only illusion. You're doing only illusion. You have to discipline yourself to do that. That's what is Varnashrama about. Then gradually you'll become enough educated and enough knowledgeable to understand, I need to stop the other side of things and move out, become serious. So the choice is always ours. You should exercise your choice. Both are available to you. It's not that only illusion is available. The point is that people don't try to become Krishna conscious at all. They forget the real purpose of human life, and therefore they become only illusion oriented. But you have education, and if you are properly tutored, mentored, then you will not be doing only illusion, like you're saying. That is Vedic culture. In Vedic culture, you're taught from the beginning, this is illusion, this is not true. So you do it in a limited way, but your main business of life is to get out of this illusion. Right? Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Asatoma, Satgamaya. Like that they are taught. Sat and Asat. That is education. The problem is we don't have this education. We are taught about how to shoot a rocket into space, a spaceship. We're gaga about, we're landing on the moon, some, contraption. We do all that, but nobody knows what is the goal and aim of life. That's the point. So it's not that illusion has been put on you by somebody called God. No, you are asked for it. You like it. You are addicted to it. In spite of the fact that you've got intelligence, in spite of the fact that you have the Bhagavad Gita sitting in front of you, in spite of the fact that there's Bhagavata and there are persons like Bhakti Vinodha Swami Prabhupada, in spite of all that, we make constantly the choice for the smaller things in life. We hold back and said, yes, one day I'll do that, one day I'll do that. I know it's right, I'll do that one day. That's the problem. That is the problem. It's not that somebody put illusion on you. It is just you happen to tick off the choice. I'll be in illusion for some time more. I know that, but I'll come back to it. That's the choice. That's why. I hope that's clear.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
Yes. Anything else? Anybody else? Anybody else with a question? These verses are so nice. I mean, they're from the Bhagavata. And they relate to everyday happenings in this world. So bringing the Bhagavata's principles and values to everyday life is done by Shukadeva Goswami, who's explaining these things here like that. And Prabhupada is distilling more information and giving examples. We should learn to apply these things in our life and benefit from that. Right? These are serious subject matters. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Good night. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.